Back to our numbers array. In this lecture, I'm going to change the order of these numbers so they are not sorted, and then I will show you how to sort them. So let's change them to 2, 3, 1 and remove 1 here. Now, how can we sort this array? Very easy. We have this method called sort, and what this method does is that it converts each element here to a string and then sorts the elements in the array. So let's have a look. Console.log of numbers. Here's our numbers array sorted. Now, another method that is often companion to the sort method is the reverse method. And with this, we can reverse the order of elements in an array. So numbers dot reverse. Let's log it on the console one more time. Now we have 3, 2, 1. So this sort method is pretty useful. It's very easy to use when you have numbers and strings in an array. But when you have objects like course objects, it doesn't work by default. We have to do some extra work. So let me delete this code here and define another array called courses. Here I'm going to add 2 course objects with ID 1 and name, let's say node.js, and another course object with ID 2 and name JavaScript. Now, let's say we want to sort this array by the name of courses. So JavaScript should come before Node.js. So look, if I call courses.sort and then log in on the console, nothing is going to happen. You can see Node is still coming first. So how can we fix this problem? Very easy. This sort method optionally takes an argument, and that's a function that is used for comparison. So when we call the sort method, this method gets 2 objects in this array, let's say A and B, and compares them. Now, if they are in the right order, it will skip to the next 2 elements. Otherwise, it's going to rearrange them. So here we need to pass a function for comparison. This function should take 2 parameters. We can call them A and B, or first and second. It doesn't really matter because A and B is pretty self-explanatory here. Now, in this function, if A is less than B, we should return -1. If A is greater than B, we should return 1. And if they are equal, we should return 0. So to implement this, we can write code like this. If A.name, that's our first course, is less than B.name, we're going to return -1. Okay. Now the second condition, if A.name is greater than B.name, we're going to return 1. Otherwise, we return 0. Now note that here I'm not using else if, because if the first condition is true, with this return statement, we're going to jump out of this function. So the control will never move to this point. So there's really no need to use the else keyword. It's just adding extra noise in the code. So now let's run this code one more time. Save the changes, inspect this array. You can see that JavaScript is coming first. Beautiful. However, if I change this J to a lowercase j and save the changes, see what happens. This time Node is coming first. So what's going on here? Well, each character in a computer is internally represented using a number. Let me show you. So open up Google and search for ASCII table. That is ASC with double I. I remember when I was at university back in Iran, I had this lecturer and he thought these double I's here are 2. So he used to call this ASCII 2. He had no clue that these I's stand for information interchange. So ASCII is short for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So that's ASCII table, not ASCII 2. Now, take a look at this second link. So on this table, you can see the numeric representation of each character. So we were looking at lowercase j. Its numeric representation is 106. And n, which is used for our node course, is 78. You can see 78 is less than 106. That's why our node course, starting with capital N, came first. Now, to solve this problem, we should exclude case sensitivity when comparing these names. So we can do something like this. We can declare two constants. Let's say name A and set it to a.name to uppercase. So whatever the name of the first course is, we're going to convert it to uppercase. And we're going to do the same with the second course. So I'm going to call the second constant name B and set it to b.name to uppercase. Now we have two uppercase strings. We can compare them. Also take into account that here we could call two lowercase instead of two uppercase. That's perfectly valid. But what is important is that both these names should be either lowercase or uppercase. Now finally, we need to replace the instances of a.name with name A. So I'm going to do multi-cursor editing. I've selected a.name and I'm going to press Command and D on Mac or Control D on Windows. We have this second cursor here, as you can see. Now we can delete this and replace it with name A. Escape. Finished. One more time, I'm going to replace b.name, Command and D, with name B and escape. Done. Save the changes. Now our sort algorithm should work properly. So JavaScript came first.